This is how you get on the world's largest oil skimmer. Quite a feat and quite an adventure. So now we're on board a massive vessel called a whale, and this is a giant cargo ship that has been retrofitted to skim oil out in the Gulf of Mexico. This kind of technology retrofitting has never been done before, so right now the Coast Guard hasn't given this ship permission to go out and skim oil in the Gulf of Mexico. We're on the navigation deck of this vessel, and from this perch you can really get a sense of the magnitude of this ship. It is almost 4 football fields long, 1 football field wide, and as you look at those other massive ships out there on the water, they look small from this vantage point. But underneath this massive deck that you see right here below us, underneath there is where the crucial work will take place, if indeed the technology aboard this vessel does work. Underneath there is where the containers and where the oil could be skimmed into is being held right now. So we're going to go check that out. Those slits that you see on the side of the ship are called the jaws, and that is the critical component that has been retrofitted to help the ship collect oil. So the oil is going to come through here into these valves and then into a series of 5 tanks.
Yes.
And that's the process of separating the oil from the water. What you see here is called the jaws. And essentially, when this ship gets the clearance to go out and start skimming oil, the oil will come into here and then get brought into these valves and get processed, where they will begin the process of separating the water from the oil. Right now, the crew of this ship is waiting on final permission from the Unified Command to start skimming oil in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a couple of issues that are being looked at right now. First of all, one of them is a safety issue. A ship this big out on the Gulf of Mexico needs about a half-mile radius all the way around to operate safely. So they're trying to figure out if that's possible. There's also some environmental concerns. Part of the way this ship works is that it brings in oil and water. It separates that, and the water gets thrown back out into the Gulf of Mexico, and they keep the oil. They're also looking into whether or not that water that's going to be discharged, what is the environmental impact of that? So that's one of the things slowing it down. But everyone aboard here thinks that it's just a matter of time before this vessel is put in to fight the oil disaster in the Gulf of Mexico. And the crew told us that they were being dispatched out into the Gulf of Mexico last night. They're waiting to see if they can at least do some tests for the Coast Guard to kind of show them what that ship can do. Admiral Thad Allen says that he's not quite ready to put this into play, that there's still some more questions that they want to look into, but he says he is hopeful that this will be a valuable tool in the fight to clean up this oil.